the show, Girl, Let's Talk. My name is Nonhlanhla Mabhikwa, and today I'll be talking to a young woman from rural Matabeleland who is a nominee as Senate for Matabeleland South. Her name is Nonhlanhla Mlotshwa from the party Citizens Coalition for Change. Welcome back. So, girl, let's talk. Who is Nonhlanhla Mlotshwa?
Nonhlanhla Mlotshwa is the CCC rural mobilizing champion, popularly known as the rural champion.
And how long have you been active in politics?
I was born in politics, considering that my late mom was a senator in Matabeleland South. I can safely say I was born into politics.
And being active in politics?
When my mom was still with us, I was at the back, with the youth organ of the movement, of MDC, before the new baby was born. But when my mom passed, I felt the need, I felt compelled to join and be very active in the political circles. And that's how it has been since she passed.
Now, coming back to rural mobilization, as you have said, your mother was a senator there, so they know her, and they are seeing you in politics. How has been the response of women and young people in rural Matabeleland South as you try and encourage them to enter into politics?
For me, I can say it has been easy to mobilize the rural, because Senator Mlotshwa really paved the way. It's easy for me. I just drop the Mlotshwa name and things happen. So for me, it has been quite easy, because I relate very well with young people, and I relate well with older people. So for me, I'm just that conduit that brings the younger and the older together. Because since I've been in the CCC, I think I've recruited more of young people. And I've gone back to re-engage the people that Senator Mlotshwa was working with before. And, they have that trust. They have that hope that, okay, now we have a new incoming Senator Mlotshwa.
There you have it, guys. I'm sitting with a young woman who was raised in a political environment, who is still in politics, and even working so hard to bring young people and women in politics. Now, coming to you, Nonhlanhla, and what you have gone through, when I speak to a lot of young women and women in general, they speak of the challenges that they face in trying to enter into politics. And here you are. What has it taken you to claim your place in politics and rise up and even be nominated for Senate?
It's not easy. Usually, our men, they think when you're active in politics, you want to take the role of a man. I think men should understand we don't want their role. We just want the basic of human rights. And you cannot do anything for women without the women. So because we need to be represented, I had to take the bull by its horn and make sure that the women of Matabeleland are represented, the rural woman is represented. It's not a walk in the park, because some will believe, uzasitshelani, umuntu ongumama, uzasithini, umuntu ongumama or umuntu wesintwana. It's not easy, but we are pushing. It's difficult for women in the rural areas, because, you have to ask for permission from your husband to even attend a political program, and. Luckily for me, my husband he's free. For him, he knows the politics it's a calling. For a rural man, it's tough. For him to let his wife be out there and go for days and days on programs. You are sacrificing your home, you are sacrificing your kids, you are sacrificing yourself, you are putting yourself out there, for even insults. Even internally, you find you are insulted just by standing up, you are labeled and given names. So it has not been that easy, but we're pushing and we're asking women to really participate, to stand up and be counted.
Speaking of all these challenges that you have stated, maybe let's explain to our viewers today to say, why is it so important to have women and young people being in the forefront in politics?
We cannot talk about governance and govern people when the people that you want to govern are not involved. Women are the majority in this nation. The youth are also the majority, even in the electorate. If you look at the states that ZEC has given us, the youth are more, the women are more. So how do we say we want to represent, we want to govern people who are not part of the governance? So we need women, we need young people to participate in governance so that they govern themselves. So we can't have men leading. We respect men. We want them to lead where they're supposed to lead. But there's places where women should take part. Because I think women are leading mostly in rural areas. Most of these programs that you see, whether it's distribution of anything, women are the secretary of this and secretary of that. They have, a role to play, but it's not official. We're not saying they must go out and become councillors in their wards, because I think they understand them more. Isintu sithi ophakulula ibhodo ngumama. So umama nguyokwaziyo ukuthi okusebhodweni kungakanani. So omama must go out and represent us. We need them to represent us.
Wow. Now, you've been nominated for Senate. What is the role of a senator?
The role of a senator is a role of a representative, a role of a parliamentarian. Of course, you're in the upper house, but you're still in parliament. So your role is to represent, mine is not to represent a constituency, mine is to represent the whole of South in parliament. Mine is to be a legislature in parliament. And mine is a duty of oversight. I have a duty to oversight the executive on whatever decisions that they do. So the views of South should be heard via Nonhlanhla Mlotshwa.
Now, let's come back to Matabeleland South. You've been nominated for Senate under Matabeleland South. What are the challenges facing Matabeleland South as a province?
In South, I can say it's a forgotten province. To us, we think we're forgotten. We've not benefited anything under Zimbabwe and under ZANU-PF. We have not benefited anything, whether it's in terms of infrastructure, whether it's in terms of roads, whatever, as benefited as the people of South. So we hope that when President Nelson Chamisa, he sees that we have been marginalized, and he understands that there is a Matabeleland question that needs to be answered. Our children are not going to proper schools. If you visit South, you'll be shocked at how beautiful our homes are. It shows you we are very, very development oriented, but the government is not doing its duty, because they have a duty to build our roads. We cannot build them ourselves. I've heard people saying, they must develop themselves. We cannot. I cannot get sick today and build a hospital today for myself and expect to put doctors for myself. We expect the government to do that. If you visit any hospital today as a South, they will just greet you and put you in the next ambulance to Bulawayo. Why? A province as big as South can't even provide just e-health for its people. We cannot depend on Bulawayo. As a province, we need functional hospitals, functional schools, functional government departments. From where I stay to Gwanda, it's 60 kilometers away, but I cannot use the road. It's in a state of dilapidation. I can only drive through Bulawayo, that is 114 Ks, then from Bulawayo to Gwanda, but I can only go on Gwanda Road, near 60 kilometers, I'll be there. So you understand, Gutima South, we are really saying we're underdeveloped. But we see our politicians, especially ZANU-PF, visiting us during elections and bringing us KFC and chicken in. We don't want that. That's not what we want. We don't want to be given anything. We have land in South. We have gold in South. We expect that the government will let us. The government of Nelson Chamisa will give us title deeds and let the people of South pen their own gold, and the central government will benefit something from that, and the people of South will benefit. It's really sad that South had so much resources, but benefits nothing from those resources. We hope that the government of Nelson Chamisa, the government that we will be running, our people will benefit from what is theirs.
So what plans do you have for Matabeleland South in consideration of these challenges? What are you and your team going to do to address these challenges?
My South team is ready to address those issues. We have a strong team of MPs, and we did not even start at MP level. We started at council level. We went out of our way to recruit deliberately councillors who will take development as the first thing that they do. We cannot have councillors who go to council to go and drink tea and sleep. It cannot happen. We must first control most of our rural district councils. We must first control, because that's where the vote starts. It starts at ward level. So we need ward councillors who are going to help us take South forward. We have a plan as South. I mean, as the national, we have a plan that will take to South. And we are not even hoping. We know for sure that the councillors that we'll have now, we're very young councillors. If you look at the list of young councillors in South, we have councillors as young as 27. And for us, it's a first, having such young people in a rural setup. You know, penetrating older people. Older people usually believe maturity comes as you are older. So only older people must, take up those positions. But we have younger councillors. We have female councillors that we deliberately went out of our way to say, we are recruiting you. We need you to go and represent us in council. And for sure, I am telling you that if this team of councillors that we have now, I was looking at a video from a lady in Ward 23, councillor in Caesar North. She was, in her video, she was saying very powerful things, that the rural district council here in Caesar, in Philapusi, has no budget for Ward 23. Why are we not budgeting for Ward 23 when South has so much resources? Why is the council not having budget when the council has so much resources? If you look at the monies that they charge the businesses, where is the money going to? So it needs to be accounted for, and it needs to work for the benefit of the citizens. So we are ready as a team.
Now, looking at these challenges that you have stated and your team that you'll be working with under Matabeleland South, how are you going to work together to address these challenges?
What I can tell you is that if Nelson Chamisa is winning these elections, because the people believe in Nelson Chamisa, and we are going to Parliament. And people were saying to me, but why are you going to Senate? You are very young. You are going to sleep there in Senate like everybody who's sleeping. This Senate for 2023, this group of senators is not going to sleep, and I'm going to make sure of that. We need to represent South. We need to stand for our women in South. Most of the times people have senators who they've never met, who they don't even know. To Senator Wangenanini. Who's the senator? People don't even know. People don't even know how the Senate is elected. Someone was saying to me, but we have not seen your posters, Senator. Siyakuvotela njani ku ballot box. People don't even know that I go because of a proportional representation. The way South will vote will take us to Parliament. You understand? So we need to educate our people on the role of a senator. That's where we need to start. Why has the government of ZANU-PF not educated our people on the roles and responsibilities of the senators, or even on the roles and responsibilities of a member of Parliament? Most of our people in Zimbabwe tell you, ungangena Parliament usikhumbule ambulance. Umbusikhumbule ubuye ezimfeni. That's not your role, and that's not your responsibility. Your role is to go to Parliament and represent the people where you come from. Of course, uye emfeni ibuntu, mzukwana ukhona, you go there, but uzabe usuba represente nini abantu. Because South has over 300,000 registered voters. Not all of them are going to Parliament to represent themselves. They need someone to go and stand up and be a voice Matabeleland. And we have not had a voice Matabeleland in our Parliament for a very long time. And I promise you, we are going to be that voice. With the crop of CCC members of Parliament this time, we are going to be that voice in Parliament.
Speaking about your team in Matabeleland South, who should Matabeleland South vote for under Mat South?
I'll start in Beitbridge West. We have Renata Ndo. Beitbridge East, we have Moken Ncube. Gwanda South, we have Patrick Dube. Gwanda Chitaudze, we have Justin Majale. Gwanda North, we have Desire Nkala. In Caesar South, we have Svanjani Moyo. In Caesar North, we have Babu Masugu. In Umzingwane, we have Mcebisi Ndlovu. In Matobo, we have Colin Ngwenya. In Matobo Mangwe, we have Matala Poindebele. In Mangwe, we have Vincent Slabo. And in Bulili Maslembogo, they wanu Mama Blanca, Bekezela Mablanca.
Wow, interesting. Now, maybe tell us more. Why should Matabeleland South vote for these people that you have stated? What is it that they stand for?
Matabeleland South is going to vote for the CCC. It's not going to vote for individuals who are voting for the party. These individuals are representing the movement, the Citizens Coalition for Change. There are a number of reasons. If I was somebody else, I was going to talk about the reasons why the people of Matabeleland should not vote ZANU-PF. But I want to paint a picture for Matabeleland South. A picture that when uhlezwi won, you see the reasons why you vote for a government of CCC. First of all, sikhulume ngesibhedlela. That affects everyone. Even the ZANU-PF people are affected by dilapidation esibhedlela, by the lack of medications. We hope and we know that the government of CCC iyaba ngokuqala ukuthi ake silungise izibhedlela zakithi eMatabeleland South. And i-devolution into yokuqala. Sifuna ukuziphatha ezigabeni zethu ezematabeleland. Asifuna ukuzwa into okuthiwa hayi lindelana ukuthi iHarare zakuthi. Sifuna ukuziphatha siyimatabeleland. Lokho yinto yokuqala, and that's what we stand for. And i-representation yakhona esikhuluma ngayo. Abantu laba esikhuluma ngabo ngabantu abakhethwe ngabantu beMat South bebathembile ezigabeni zabo. As you were following our nomination processes, we're not going for our usual activists in the movement. We gave it back to the citizens and said, nominate the people that you see fit. That's why you see it's a wave of new people, people that you have never heard of, because they have been working in their communities and their communities recognized their work. I don't think when they go to parliament, there is anything that they're going to change. I think they're going to continue as they were working for our communities. Them being there is representing their communities, is going to benefit their communities. So we are confident. Asibuyele emuva sizithembile impela ukuthi labantu abakhethiweyo, labantu abakhethwe ku Senate, labantu abakhethwe ku PR, labantu abakhethwe ku Provincial Council will push i-agenda ye-devolution because it's there. Ibhaliwe ku Constitution of Zimbabwe. It's just not working. I-Provincial Council has been there for a long time, ikhona, but nobody understands ukuthi i-Provincial Council ngokwenzani. It's just not working. It's going to work. All of these are going to work.
Now, speaking of working in the community, I'm sure you've done a lot of work, and even with the rural mobilization that you have been doing. What is it that you have been doing in the community, and how has that turned out in Matabeleland South?
Besides being a politician, I farm. Besides being a politician, I'm sort of a philanthropist. I give back to my community. So when my mom was still alive, she had an organization okuthiwa umama ngumama ngezenzo. Yayipromote abantu abangomama esigabeni. I was part of that organization. I was, because I was based in South Africa then, I used to mobilize a lot of resources for that organization. Then we used to do a give back, a Christmas cheer fund that we'll do because, you know, resources don't permit that you do much, even if you wish to do much. Resources were not permitting. We used to do that we still do even now, a Christmas cheer fund in all the hospitals in Matobo. So my mobilizing is easy because I have a relationship with opinion leaders. I have a relationship with stakeholders. Mina ngizalwe ebukhosini. Ngingumahlambi, unzimana umthukwaphi. So ngiyazehlisa kumakhosi ayematabeleland. The chiefs osobhuku, So I understand ukuthi nxa umobilizer especially ekhaya qala khona uyezehlisa kuma chiefs akini ubazise ubahloniphe. It makes it easy for you to find your way around the community. Kuba lula ukuthi labo futhi bakukhusele, bakuprotecte, batsho ukuthi we understand ukuthi usesigabeni sethu. Ngesikhathi lapha nothing will happen to you then. So it's easier that way nxa ule relationship labantu bakini ukuthi ukhulumisane labo abantu bakini. So that is what we're doing. That is our mobilizing. So we're trying to spread it out. We encourage everyone who is in the CCC that go back into your roots. Qala phansi, qala kwa zero. Politics is local, politics is grassroots. That's where everything lies.
Wow, that's a lot of work and quite interesting really to hear that there are young people who know the protocol, the channels of speaking to our leadership from, community leadership going right up there. Now, I can't let you go without talking about the 12 Bulawayo CCC MPs that have appealed their court case. Maybe first let's talk about if they lose the court case, what does it mean for Bulawayo, young people and women in Bulawayo?
So as I said, our nomination process, we're nominating community leaders, and the community went out of its way to nominate the 12. So if the court decides that the 12 will not stand, the 12 are still a representative of the people. It's going to be a sad day, not only for Bulawayo. Bulawayo, to everybody who is Matabeleland, isigodlo sethu sonke singabantwana bakaMthwakazi. So an attack on Bulawayo is an attack on Matabeleland South and is an attack on Matabeleland North. I'm telling you that that attack is provocative. It's going to make Matabeleland South react in the ballot box in ways that ZANU-PF is going to be shocked. Because we are going to protect Bulawayo. If they are not there, Matabeleland South will stand up and protect Bulawayo. Matabeleland North will stand up and protect Bulawayo. Bulawayo is never a place that has accepted ZANU-PF. The Bulawayo voter has always rejected ZANU-PF in the ballot. The numbers speak for themselves. So now, because they realize they are not the favorite in the ballot, they are deciding to force themselves, actually shove themselves down our throats as a Sizwe SikaMthwakazi. We will not take that line down. We will not accept. And we are going to respond. And our response will be shown in Matabeleland South, will be shown in Matabeleland North. Even Bulawayo itself will not vote ZANU-PF.
And should CCC win the court case, what then does it mean for young people, women, and Bulawayo in general?
If CCC wins the appeal, it's going to mean a lot. We have young people like Nonhlanhla Mabhikwa, we have Utisent Bajila, we have Utizaya in Kulumane, we have Upasho in Country Park. That's the representation that we want. We need young people that to represent us. So it's going to be for us, we really, if the court system really uses, is evidence-based, the evidence show that the CCC was in court at 4 p.m. when they closed their doors. Anybody who imagines anything different, I don't know which Zimbabwe they're living in, which ZRP was going to allow any CCC candidate after 4 p.m. So we are really hoping that the court system who are going to use evidence are going to really reinstate our members of parliament, our representatives. We are really upbeat about it. Yeah.
As we close off the show, what is your message to Zimbabwe come 23 August 2023?
My message to Zimbabwe is one: go and vote for Nelson Chamisa as the leader of the CCC. Go and vote for the CCC entirely. Start at council level. Vote for your CCC councillor. Vote for your CCC MP. Vote for Nelson Chamisa as a president. And take us to task as the CCC when you have voted us in. take us to task. Make us accountable to you. We are your servants. Listumile. We see ZANU-PF when they voted in, they become chefs. We are not chefs. We are your servants. Listumile. When you voted us in, take us to task. Make us work. If we don't work, punish us in the ballot box come 2028.
There you have it, guys. You've heard from Nonhlanhla Mlotshwa here today, what they have to offer for Matabeleland South. And I hope that as you keep watching these shows, come August 23, you will know who to vote for. You will know who stands for your concerns as a person, as a province, as a nation. Otherwise, don't forget to follow at @ZW on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok pages. And from myself, Nonhlanhla Mabhikwa, it's bye for now.